So my name is Jim Pira. I'm 56 years old. I was born in Tanzania, which is in East Africa, and I've been in this country for about 35 years.
I'm Donna Pira. I'm from Washington State, and I am 53 years old.
So when you were growing up, what were the messages you received, or what did you know about LGBT people, gay people? Was that even a thing? Did you even know they existed?
I didn't know anything about being transgender, bi, queer, none of that. I heard about being gay. We had TV shows like Three's Company that explored that area, but nothing in detail about how the relationship and behavior was extended into relationships. When you were just finishing elementary school, I had a hint that you were hanging out with this one girl all the time. So I had a hint that you were gay, but I was waiting for you to vocalize it. I guess you wanted to figure out your sexual orientation, and I was just giving you that time. I noticed you would not wear frilly dresses, and you liked to wear jogging suits in black and blue, but I thought you were more like a tomboy. Yeah.
I am a Muslim. I am proud of being a Muslim. Your ignorance is not my problem.
Yeah, that's true.
That's right, baby.
That's true. And I feel like that's how I am with a lot of the LGBT stuff. It's like, I can't help who I am, but that's just, I'm not going to stop. I can't stop.
Discrimination-wise, I experienced it at 9.
Yeah.
That becomes the story of my life, even to this day, that I have faced discrimination in all forms. As a brown man,
Muslim.
as a Muslim.
When you first started thinking one of your children was gay,
Yeah.
what are these thoughts as a parent?
The first thought to me was, well, for Iman was, what a shame, because he's a really good-looking guy.
I wanted you to say you were gay, and I was getting more angry because you weren't telling it like it was. And it was frustrating, so I thought you were bouncing back between figuring it out again.
I see.
The dialogue wasn't there because of either shame or feeling rejected, or you were rejected, or just not loving yourself enough to say, this is who I am.
My dad always brought us up to respect all kinds.
That's okay.
When you came out and said, you had, the first thing for me was, well, great, because she won't get pregnant now. Kind of at one point in my life saying, boy, I love grandchildren, and I'm not going to have them.
We went to family therapy together. We wanted to make sure you knew you were gay. We weren't, and you thought we were trying to ungay you, but the most important thing we were worried about is the violence. I know a lot of unhealthy relationships of control and violence in this type of relationship is not unheard of, but then it's also in the heterosexual community too. So that really worried me. That really concerned me, because you can lose yourself for somebody else out of love, and that's not real love when they hurt you.
Our relationship was rocky for years, and it was
Exactly.
because I thought you were rejecting me, and that you were just not proud of my decisions, and it wasn't just sexuality. It was just, I was making some decisions.
Crazy
decisions, right? Because I was being young. So I feel like it was because I started bringing
It wasn't
around-
crazy to fall in love with another woman. What was crazy was the outrageous behavior you would do just to say, I am gay, look at me. And I'm going like, okay. All right.
Okay, we get it.
Beyond gay, what is this,
An open, honest pathway to communication. I think when we are posed with challenges, not to be afraid of speaking out, and being an instrument of positive change. I think for you also, I found out that you were communicating through your art. A lot of your art pieces were telling stories, were releasing a lot of stuff for you. And I'm encouraging the parents to allow their kids to open through this amazing elixir that we have within us called the arts. Whether it's music, whether it's drawing, painting, that is a form of release. It's a healthy form of release. And this is why my wife and I created Helium, is exactly for that purpose. To have an open forum, to have a non-judgmental sanctuary for people to come and open up without being marginalized, without being ostracized in any way, having a very open heart. And if you disagree, you agree to disagree.
I think the key thing to bonding people together and transforming themselves and knowing themselves is exploring their inner creative. And that brings a lot of healing and a lot of self-value. When you can bring more of your beauty outside instead of hide it, you can be who you are.
Overall, if you have a good foundation, if you have an open mind, if you don't live in a fear-oriented world, if you're not afraid, then all things become possible for you to change. And they, guess what? They start changing themselves.
Family kiss. Boy.